What if I told you that one of the Bible's greatest heroes paid for his wife with 200 dead bodies? Not gold, not livestock, not land, bodies, and the craziest part? He was only asked for half that number. Today we're diving into one of the most disturbing and brutally honest stories in the Bible. A story about jealousy, manipulation, and a bride price that would make headlines today as a war crime. Buckle up, because this is the story you probably didn't hear in Sunday school. These are the types of content I create. If you're interested, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. For sure, your whole body will tremble, your brain will explode, and you will definitely be blown away if you learn that success can become dangerous. Let's set the scene. David just took down Goliath, the giant nobody else would fight. He's the hero of the hour. As he's walking back home with the army, something happens that changes everything. Women pour out from every town in Israel, dancing, singing, playing tambourines. And they're singing this catchy little tune. Saul has killed his thousands, but David his tens of thousands. Now imagine you're King Saul. You've been leading Israel for years. You've fought battles, made tough calls, bled for your people, and now some shepherd boy comes along and suddenly he's getting 10 times the credit you are? 1 Samuel 18:8 tells us Saul did not like this and he became very angry. That's biblical language for Saul absolutely lost his mind. He says, "They credit David with tens of thousands, but me with only thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom?" And from that moment, verse 9 says, Saul kept a close eye on David. Translation: paranoia mode activated. You're basically starving at a feast. There's a whole banquet of mind-blowing stories out there, but you're stuck eating crackers because you don't have a map to the good stuff. Meanwhile, your time's ticking away like an Uber meter, and unlike that ride, you're not getting anywhere. We're not just giving you stories, we're giving you social currency, the kind that makes you the most interesting person in the room while everyone else is still talking about the weather. Stop being the person who shows up empty-handed to the conversation. The spear incident, when jealousy turns lethal. The very next day, things get violent. An evil spirit from God comes over Saul. Yeah, that's actually what it says in 1 Samuel 18:10. And he's raving in his house like a madman. David, being the good court musician he is playing the harp to calm him down. Saul's sitting there with a spear in his hand, and suddenly he thinks, "I'll pin David to the wall." He throws it. David dodges. Saul throws it again. David dodges again. Twice. Saul literally tried to murder David twice in one sitting, and David had to matrix his way out of it both times. Now Saul's not just jealous, he's terrified, because he realizes something devastating. The Lord is with David, but has departed from me. So what does Saul do? He can't kill David outright, that would look bad, so he gets creative. He sends David out to lead 1,000 men in battle, hoping the Philistines will do the dirty work for him. But it backfires. David wins every single battle. And the people, they love him even more. But here's what nobody talks about. The trap. A bride price designed to kill. Now Saul's running out of options, so he comes up with a plan that's equal parts clever and sinister. He offers David his daughter. First, it's Merab, the older one. Saul says in 1 Samuel 18:17, "Here is my older daughter Merab. I will give her to you in marriage. Only serve me bravely and fight the battles of the Lord." Sounds generous, right? But the text immediately tells us what Saul was really thinking. Saul thought, "I will not raise a hand against him. Let the Philistines do that. It's a trap. Marry my daughter, fight my wars, and hopefully die in the process." But that plan falls apart. Merab ends up marrying someone else. Then Saul hears something interesting. His younger daughter, Michal, has fallen in love with David, and when they told Saul about it, he was pleased. Pleased? Why would a father be pleased that his daughter loves the guy he's trying to kill? Because now he has leverage. There are those who believe in every whisper, and there are those who don't seem to bother much. The question is, what can we gain from this? If you want to expand your thinking and deepen your understanding, come and let's delve together into meaningful studies and find the answer to the question. Is it true? The deal: 100 foreskins. Saul tells his servants to approach David privately and say, "Look, the king likes you. Everyone likes you. Why don't you become the king's son-in-law?" David, being humble, or maybe just smart, says, "Do you think it's a small matter to become the king's son-in-law? I'm only a poor man and little known." So Saul's servants report back, and Saul gives them a new message. The king wants no other price for the bride than 100 Philistine foreskins to take revenge on his enemies. What's a foreskin? Think of it like nature's hoodie for the male anatomy, a protective covering that's there from birth. Let that sink in. Not 100 gold coins, not 100 sheep, 100 foreskins from dead enemies. The text is brutally clear about Saul's plan. Saul's plan was to have David fall by the hands of the Philistines. This is an assassination attempt dressed up as a wedding gift. You're not looking for stories, you're looking for ammunition. The kind that turns casual conversations into, "Wait, how do you know that?" moments. You already have the superpower. We're just the plug-in that makes it run at full capacity. Think of us as your brain's personal trainer, except instead of abs, you're building the kind of depth that makes people actually listen when you talk. Stop being the audience. Start being the one everyone else quotes later. The overkill. David doubles down. Now here's where it gets wild. David hears the offer and he's delighted. He was pleased to become the king's son-in-law. Before the time limit is up, David and his men go out and they kill yet not 100 Philistines. 200. David brought their foreskins and presented the full number to the king so that he might become the king's son-in-law. He doubled it. Saul asked for 100, and David said, "Here's 200. Hope that's enough." Now we have to pause here and ask, why? Was David trying to prove his devotion? Was he showing off? Was this religious zeal or overkill, literally? Because let's be honest, killing 200 people and bringing back that hoodie down there as a wedding gift is not normal. Even by ancient standards, this is extreme. This is sick. This next part changed everything for me. The uncomfortable questions. Let's sit with the tension for a second, because this story raises some seriously uncomfortable questions. First, what does this say about David? We're talking about a guy who killed 200 men, mutilated their bodies, and presented the evidence as a gift. He does not want Michal to be given again to another man, just like Merab. Was David traumatized by this? Did he struggle with what he'd done? Or was he so conditioned by war that it didn't faze him? Did he enjoy killing people? Is Michal that super-duper beautiful to cost 200 lives? Was David so obsessed with her? Or he just wants to be the king's son-in-law? The Bible doesn't tell us. It just states the facts and moves on. Second, what about Michal? She's barely mentioned in this whole transaction. Verse 20 says she loved David, but did anyone ask her how she felt about being the prize in a deadly contest between her father and her future husband? Her bride price wasn't paid in gold or cattle, it was paid in bodies. 200 of them. Imagine being Michal, knowing that 200 men died so you could get married. What does that do to a person? Third, what about Saul? Why this specific demand? Why foreskins? It's proof of death, yes, but it's also deeply humiliating. It's a trophy. It's Saul saying, "If you want my daughter, prove you can kill my enemies in the most brutal, degrading way possible. And when David actually does it and then doubles it, Saul realizes he's completely outmatched. Saul realized that the Lord was with David and that his daughter Michal loved David. So Saul became still more afraid of him, and he remained his enemy the rest of his days. You're dining at a dumpster when there's a Michelin star kitchen around the corner. Most channels are fast food for your brain. Looks good in the ad, tastes like regret. We're the gourmet meal that actually fills you up and keeps you coming back. Staying put isn't just boring, it's expensive. Every second you waste on clickbait trash is a second you're not getting back. You're not saving time by sticking with the familiar. You're hemorrhaging it. Trade up or stay hungry. Your call. The big question, why is this in the Bible? Here's what I find fascinating. The Bible doesn't shy away from this story. It doesn't sanitize it or spin it. It just tells it. So why include it? Is this a story we're supposed to admire? Is David the hero here? Or is the Bible showing us something more complex, that even God's chosen king has blood on his hands? That the path to the throne is paved with violence, manipulation, and morally gray decisions? Maybe the point isn't to celebrate David's zeal. Maybe it's to show us that God works through flawed, complicated, even brutal people. Because if we're honest, David's resume is dark, and the Bible doesn't hide that. Just go ahead and check it out. What's the worst that could happen, right? Don't be a chicken. The modern lens. Hero or war criminal? Let's play a thought experiment. If David did this today, killed 200 people, took body parts as trophies, and presented them to win a woman's hand in marriage, how would we see him? Would he be celebrated as a hero of faith, or would he be tried at The Hague? The answer depends on your perspective, and maybe that's the point. The Bible doesn't give us simple heroes. It gives us real people in brutal times, making impossible choices. David wasn't perfect. He was a warrior, a strategist, a survivor. And sometimes surviving means doing things that haunt you. I'm the secret menu everyone's missing. While the internet's serving leftovers, I'm cooking up stories that'll make you the most interesting person in any room, but only if you're on the list. The deal? Subscribers eat first, everyone else, they're stuck with crumbs. Your likes and subs aren't just support, they're the secret ingredient that makes the next story even wilder. Skip it, and you're basically choosing to be boring. Don't be boring. Click the button. Closing thoughts. So what do we take away from this? Maybe it's this. The Bible isn't a fairy tale, it's a brutally honest account of human nature, our jealousy, our violence, our desperation, and yes, our faith. Saul's jealousy nearly destroyed him. David's ambition put him on a throne, but also in some very dark places. And Michal? She became a footnote in someone else's story. But through it all, God was still working, still shaping history, still using broken people to accomplish his purposes. And maybe that's the most hopeful part of this whole disturbing story. Oh, buckle up. If you don't get this, you could be staring at a pile of gold, and there you are, thinking it's just some fancy copper. Open up your mind and further enrich your understanding of well-researched knowledge, which is the foundation of true wisdom. Remember, it's essential to select content that offers something of value. Final quote. The Bible itself gives us a sobering reminder in Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? But it also promises in Psalm 51:10, after David's later sins, create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Even the bloodiest hands can be washed clean. Even the darkest stories can point us toward redemption. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the Bible actually tells, not the sanitized versions. See you next time.